What's going on, everyone? Mike from Manleys Mobile Electronics and Detail Garage again. I have here a 2009 BMW X5. Not a bad car. I mean, it's got the factory display, it's got the control knobs, it has factory nav. But of course, back in 09, CarPlay wasn't around, and this guy really wanted CarPlay, but didn't want to buy a new car. So guess what? That's what we do. So I'm going to go through and show you how to do CarPlay on a BMW. Now this will work on what's called the 09 version. So if you look at your presets, if you have presets 1 through 6, our kit will work on this one. We have another kit that works if you have presets that go 1 from 8. That's called a BMW 12 kit. And then from there, you've got one more version, which is called the BMW Evo kit. So there's a couple different versions, but this one is the 09, presets 1 through 6. If you have it, our kit will work. And like everything we have, all the videos we make, the product that we're using, we are the distributors of these kits. So we can sell them directly to you. We can also do full tech support. We help everybody out. And obviously we do these videos to make life easier. So let's get down to it. All right, guys, so we're gonna start off by getting to the back of the radio. So our module is gonna include a couple T-harnesses here. So T-harness 1 is the back of the radio. So we need to get back there to plug this guy in. I'll show you all that. T-harness number 2 for us is going to be at the iDrive, which this down here, this guy right here, this is your iDrive. We need to get to this. Our kit comes with 2 different plugs, a large and a small. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and I'm gonna assume it's the small plug down there, but we'll find out when we get to it. We put the kits together like this so that you can clear as day figure out which one you need. So those are the 2 T-harnesses that we have down here. We will do one more T-harness. I might as well show you that while we're talking about them. Now, instead of running your own microphone, you will run this up to where the factory mic is, and you'll T-harness this in up at the factory mic, which is actually right up in here. So you'll literally unplug that plug, and you'll plug in our T-harness. All right, we're gonna start pulling this sucker apart. So this, as you saw, it literally just popped off. No big deal. You got a couple plugs though. So a couple of these plugs are, most of them are just pulls. So just be gentle when you do it though, but they literally just pull right out. Little pull, little wiggle. Even this bigger one in here is also a wiggle and pull. So you saw those are 3 right in the middle. You can see 1, 2, and 3 in the middle. You got 1 off the side here. Same thing, just a wiggle and pull. Nice and simple. That one's out. Radio wise, this has got a couple Phillips right there. Go ahead and pop them. Let's see what we got here. This is just pry out. So you'll see how these, there's like little pop clips in here. I'll show you that once I get this off. Same thing right here. You got a couple things. Those are those pop clip down there. Another pop clip right there. So you got same thing, just a couple plugs. A couple of these are just pinches. So that was a pinch on. Other bottom one's a pinch. This one's a little bit dearer. This came from the side, so I had to pinch both sides like that. And then this guy is the good old lock cap. So you press in the top, and then you turn him like that. So easy as that. Now this sucker's out of here too. Radio wise, this is just a CD player portion, but the radio is pretty far down, so it covers a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. Same thing, I just got some Phillips in here. So far I'm looking at just 2 on each side down low. Yep, come here. Pop them in the cup holder, I'm gonna lose them. All right, so I'm doing sliding her out here. It's pretty tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here so I can grab a mat. I don't want to scratch anything. Remember, this is a lot of metal. It's a lot of nice plastics. You don't want to scratch anything. So I'm going to grab a mat real quick and put it down. That way we don't have any issues. Be right back. All right, so now I got a trusty mat for protection. Like I said, this doesn't come out too far. So looks like the main plug's on the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and clip that big boy out. If I'm going too fast, I will go back through and kind of show you guys exactly how these clips are. I'm just trying to get these out because I'm not a fan of radios sitting on the dash. A couple other plugs, And like I said, I'm just unplugging everything. I'm going to try to make this a little bit easier for us. And then it looks like on your side over there, we've got a couple plugs. Let's see here. So these guys slide right out like that. There's another one right here. All I'm doing, you can see I'm putting my pick tool, and like I said, I use metal. Please use plastic. But you can see how I just kind of slide that out. You can see how that slides, and it just kind of unlocks on you. Same thing there. You saw I literally just slid him out. Then I press down a smidge and he unlocks. So over here, let me show you that. This is the big plug. Now on this big plug, where's he at in here? He was snapped in like this. So this is literally how he looked. There's a button right here and a button on the other side. You're squeezing them in and unlocking it like that. And as you tilt that back, it'll actually automatically start to pull the plug out. Vice versa, when we go to plug this back in, we will plug it in just like this and then start to close this. And as we close it, you'll see it snapping into the plug. The other thing on here with our T-harness, let me show you this real quick before we put that down, before we go, honey. On here, you will see everything is wired in all nice and neat. They're missing fiber optic cables, so you're not going to T-harness the fiber optic cable. So what you need to understand there is that if your harness has it, so right there, one's always a color, one always has like a braided, like a little shield on it. So it's not a big deal. These are easy to get off. So let me show you how to get these off right now. So in here, you've got like a little button, and all I'm doing is bending down on the tab. We're gonna have to redo this. Nope, I got it. I thought I was gonna use a different tool. Easier to use a pick tool. If you guys have like a really small screwdriver or a pick tool, you can use it. I got lucky on this one. So you can see it's just pulling out. This was the tab right there that was in. All I had to do was bend down a smidge on it, and that little tab right on the fiber optic is the cable. Now remember which way it came out of. So I came out of the furthest one. So that's where I'm gonna go on mine. So I'm gonna end up, what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up unraveling this a little bit to get some length on here so I can actually do the T-harness without it being right on top of each other. So we'll be right back, but that's all I'm gonna do, just unravel this real quick. Okay, guys, so on this, like I was telling you with the fiber optic cable, all I did was I just loosened it up, so now I separated it a little bit easier. So potentially, if you do it right, this cable is gonna go into your new T-harness that is going to go into the radio. So it's only one way fits. Just make sure I have my little lock tabs on the right side. And I'm snapping him into on mine, it was the first hole there, right there. So I'm just gonna literally push it in and it just locks in. That's it, it's done. So that's how that part works. Like I said, not too much slack, but at least you got an idea of how it goes in. And then for the radio wise, we're gonna go ahead and we'll might as well plug in our T-harness. So gotta unleash that. We're gonna bring him, slide him in, and then just as you start to push and lock it in, you should be able to start pushing down on the top like I'm doing. And if everything goes well, it should just smoothly lock in. If it doesn't, just simply pull it back out, line it back up, because you're just trying to line it up right. And if you get it right, it's supposed to just lock right in. So let's see if we can do it here. And you can see now how mine's just, boom, snaps in, and it actually clips in. You know what I mean? Also, when I do it, after I'm done, I just double check the pins. It can't hurt. You never know if a pin wants to pop out or not. So I just take a quick peek. Looks very clean. Nothing looks like it popped out. Everything looks like it's in nice and tight. So at that point, you know you're good. So now you're going, factory harness is going into our harness. Our harness will then now plug into the radio. And the only a change is that fiber optic cable. If you don't have it, then you don't have to do it. But if you have it, definitely do it. So the other thing, while we were in here doing that, I realized that because our radio had navigation, the radio fits the whole entire cavity. So BMWs have two different radios, one with nav, one without. When it doesn't have navigation, it's only half the cavity. So the cavity's still the same size, but you've got literally half the space to play with. So you can mount your module there. It looks super nice and clean. We do it all the time. On this one, you really don't have much room. So normally we can go behind the glove box, but there's no glove box here. So we took a look there. There wasn't much room there. We tried to figure out a better way to fit it in. Nothing going on. We even went as far as we took out the screen. On a lot of these cars, right behind the screen's actually super thin. Right behind the screen, it goes all the way back. On this car, of course, there's another module right behind the screen, so we failed there. So what we ended up finding was down by the pedals. Now, you can't take the dash itself off, but you can take the bottom panel off, which looks like this. And the way we took this off was there was Torx. This is in the very front side. So if you go under your car and look straight up, Torx, 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 boom, pull them. Then this dash just pulls down and starts coming out. A plug right here that you just, same thing, pull out. There's no clip to it. And a plug for the mini speaker. It's right here. It also just pulls right up, no clip. Then you just pull this out. Got rid of him. Once we got rid of him, we saw that we had some room. But same thing, to then get my harness from the radio cavity over to this side, I'd have to like work around a vent. So what I did was I also pulled out the vent. So it was really simple the way this vent was mounted. So it was up in the dash like this, and there was only 2 screws. So I had a screw going up here, same thing with Torx. I was able to pull that out. I pulled another Torx out like this, and this whole entire thing I was able to just like, I mean, barely put any weight to it and just pulls it right out. So that made our lives easier. So then we were able to run the wires. So what we did was we actually ran the harness already. So you can see our harness starts here, and if I grab this, it ends up all the way over here. There's a lot of space up under the dash there, so we're able to properly mount our unit so it's nice and secure. So there's a couple more wires we got to run. We're going to have to also run, like I said, this guy to the iDrive. What we're going to do is we're going to run him down the side here. I've already started to just pull the side out. Some sides have a screw that go in the side up near the pedal. If it does, pull that out. So it's going to be a Torx as well. Others don't. Other than that, it's just kind of clips. So you're able to kind of clip it out. You'll be able to actually like run the harness right down that side. I'm going to run it right down, right down. I'll end up getting a fish. Now, I pulled off this piece right here. It was very simple, guys. It was all just clips. So it sat in like this so you all can see it. And it was just clips. Just use a panel tool. Just start on an edge. Clip, clip, clip. As you look, it's literally all clips. That's all it was. There's the plug. This one is the small plug, which is what I thought it was. So same thing. Just got to give it a little wiggle and a pull. Comes right out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to get our daisy chain. So you're going to have to get a fish because that hole, not much room there. So we're going to end up getting a fish, fishing it from the side, running it to here. What I use with a fish is I actually use a really long zip tie. Let me grab it for you. You can get this sucker, Lowe's, Home Depot, you get like a whole pack of them. I just cut the head off. So it's strong enough to run as a fish, but flexible enough to move around sides and edges. So our shop uses these like they're gold. So we always use them, we love them. So this is what we'll use to try to get that wire over in that cavity. Trying to think if there's anything else. We still have to do the microphone like we talked about. And then we do have, behind the radio, 2 more cables. Bring them out. These are called LVSD plugs. These are what actually transmit the video. So if you look and see what your cable that goes from your radio to your screen, it looks like this. All we're doing is linking in between. So we will go, it'll, instead of coming out from the radio going right to the screen, it'll come out of the radio, go into our module. Then it'll come out of our module and go into the screen. The cool thing is you catch the plug right behind the radio. It's this guy. So this, technically, this side right here goes up to that screen. So we would plug into that like so. I'll run this to under the dash there where my module is. And then same thing. I'll have another plug like this that will plug into the radio, and I'll run this side to my module. That way, we're completely done. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to quickly run these over, which is very simple, guys. I mean, it's literally, I can probably just show the video. It's all I'm doing is just reaching back in here and pushing them through, and then on the other side, I can just grab them. So that's literally all it is. Very simple. So I'll go ahead and get that done, and then once I get my fish through this console here, I will show you how that gets taken care of as well. Awesome. So in order to get my fish through, I ended up having to remove that panel. This is the one where I was telling you it's on that side, and it some have the pop clips, some actually have, you can see where the my screw hole was right there, and this part right here would have been right by the gas pedal. So like I said, it fits in like this. Once you get the 2 pops, it was a little tight. Easy to see, these are actually little slide tabs. So once you got the 2 pops, I was able to slide forward like this, bringing this whole entire thing out. So now it's a little more open. Let me grab the camera and I'll show you. So you guys can see, that's where I went. That's what I took off. So we're gonna go ahead and actually while I'm down here, I'll show you my wiring all coming through. I didn't clean anything up yet, but all coming through, and we've got space up there, so that's where we're going with it. But let me continue. I'll try to get that fish. Chris and I'll try to work on this thing. Our goal is to probably get the fish wire to come like right here, because we got plenty of room. You can see that. Remember, your plugs are a good size, and you got to get them in. So I'm thinking up in here would be great. We ran the fish once and twice already, and it came through here, which is not what we wanted. So we're gonna keep playing with it. I'll get to you as soon as we get it going. All right. So we're gonna fish it through exactly where I said to go. We actually are going in and straight up. There's a vent in there, so let me get you a little video of this. We are going in, and we're going straight up. You can see where the fish is. Chris is trying to pull. I'm pulling back like a jerk. But that's where we're going. So we in and straight up. I ended up removing a 10 mil here, 10 mil here, just to give me some room to flex that. Once you get on top, you're on top of a vent right there. So then we're gonna go through, and you can see, I'll let Chris take over of this. So the only key thing is, this came directly out of Chris's mouth, you need to tape that. I can't say it. Alright guys, so we got it through. As you can see, nice and simple there. It took a couple minutes. It wasn't the easiest thing, guys. So we ended up, when we taped it to our fish, because this really did make a difference, we taped it flat. So we taped it straight on like this. So we kept it all nice and neat, taped it flat like that. So even on the other side, nice and flat. And we came up, like I said, we came up, went around the vent. So now we're straight going across. And then once we got into where our hole is, we had to kind of angle it a little bit. So we ended up actually just having to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And once we got this head through, it was just pulling it the rest of the way. It was very simple, but getting this through did take a little bit. Biggest thing, guys, tape it, tape it, tape it. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and plug this bad boy in. It only plugs in one way, clips in. The big plug's just gonna sit there. You didn't need them. The whole point was, if this was a big plug, you got the big plug. If this is the small plug, you got the small plug. That's all it's for, just to make sure you got the right plug, no matter which way you go. We just made it easy that way for you. So we'll go ahead and then grab our panel. Like I said, it just snapped right in. So same exact thing. The port for this is right in the front, right there. And we're just gonna plug her right back in. Same thing, it only goes in one way, so if you go the wrong way, it just won't work. Won't even plug in. So get them in nice and solid. I'm gonna just gently push the wiring down back into that hole. On the other side, I might pull a little bit just to take a little slack off. Go ahead, pop this, and we are going to snap this right back in place, which, like I said, all pop clips. So once you line it up properly and get one in, the rest should fall into place. And I'm just, same thing, I'm just kind of tucking the plugs down so they do not get in the way. And popping it in, popping it in, popping it in, popping it in. And you're literally just going down the line, popping everything in, making sure it's fully solid, making sure this, all your buttons are still functional, you still move stuff around. That's the biggest thing for that. So everything looks good here. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start putting the radio back in. And we're putting it in the same way we take it out. The only difference is instead of plugging in that red LVSD plug, we're plugging it in, plugging the green one in. So that port was right here. So that's where we're gonna end up plugging ours into. So what I'm gonna start with is kind of where I was. So I'm gonna kind of come onto this corner like I did last time and try to get these guys plugged in. Not the easiest to plug in. And these guys I'm plugging in, and then I'm just pushing the little plastic tab inwards, which it's just a lock tab. So it's simply to help make sure it's locked in place. And I've got the blue guy down here too. Try to get him in there. There's not much room to work with, so you really do have to kind of wiggle around here. Boom. So got those three plugged in. Now I've got my main harness, which he goes in the same way the other one went in. So I'm going to open him up, keep them open. And you can see this is me pulling on that that fiber optic cable just to give a little bit more room. That's why I cut them out, because I wanted to get as much room as I could. So actually before him, I'm also just plug these in because these are the easier ones. So we're gonna go ahead. This tan guy plugs in like so. He just lines in, so it only goes in one way. Then just press him in and he locks. R cable, this is R LSVD. LVSD, my bad. Plug that in, same thing, clips in. Now we're down for the fun one. So he's on the bottom, and I'm gonna end up tilting it down so I can get to it. So I apologize, you guys aren't gonna be able to see it too well. But like I said, open it up all the way. You're gonna then get it into the socket. And as you're pressing it in, it will automatically grab. And now all I'm doing, I'm not even pressing in on the plug anymore. I'm just pressing down on that lock tab, and you heard it clicking. That was it clicking in and locking in place. So, once again, guys, always have a mat, cover it up. And we're gonna see if she fits or if we're gonna have to do some pressing with some harnesses. So we'll just give it one little push back there, and let's see if she just fits, or we might have to do some playing. So from what I'm seeing here, we're gonna have to play a little bit. Not the end of the world. It's just, you can see I'm not lined in. I'm not getting in all the way. Don't just start pushing. Don't muscle it. No need. It's just figuring out where to move the harnesses. So I'm taking the factory plug, and I'm gonna bring him down, and I'm gonna try to get him to sit lower. So if I can sit him down lower. So I've already made a little bit of progress just simply making one move there. Oh, turn that off. So I'm close, super close now. I'm lined up, I can see my holes, I dropped in. Still not 100%. So same thing, I'm not gonna muscle it. Just gonna do it again, just look back here, come out with a better idea. Maybe move him to a different side. See if I can kind of wrap him or unravel him. So now I'm really far back. You can see him right here. I'm going back, and I'm actually just gonna move him over to the, you can see like right there, I'm pushing him whoop, that way. That's where I'm trying to go. So I'm gonna push the radio in, move him over there. Now let's see what we have. Did I make it worse or better? There it is. So guys, it's like I said, it's not hard. Don't muscle it. There's no need to muscle it. Just take the time to figure out how to get that over right. Everything's on the radio now, so we're gonna go ahead and put our screws back in. I'm gonna get the whole dash put back together the same way it came apart, so you guys can see all the plugs. There was only a couple spots. We got that main housing that went around the radio. You know, you got your 4 screws for the radio. The main housing went around. You plug these guys in. 2 screws on the main housing, and then it was this main piece right here. A couple plugs there, 4 total, 3 in the middle, 1 on the side, and that guy just clipped right in. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll continue. All right, we got the radio back together, as you can see. Like I said, just follow the steps of taking it apart to put it right back together. Now, all we got really left, we have 2 things. One is the microphone. Like I told you, we're gonna hit it up here. I'm gonna show you how to get up in here to get it plugged in, and then when you run it, you're going to run it just like we run all of our other microphones. So go back to our video. We have another video on here that actually shows you exactly how to run a microphone. I believe it's on a QX 80, I believe that one is on. But running it is the same way on any car. I don't care if it's a QX80, a BMW X5, a Honda Civic, doesn't matter. You run the mic the same way. You're gonna go just up, around, come through, down, very simple. Just watch our video, it's very easy. Every mic's the same way. So let's at least show you how to get into this. So on these, this is one big piece. It's all pops. I'm not taking out a single screw. From this side, you wanna pull down. Not crazy hard, but you can hear it unclipping. Once you get it unclipped, this side you're gonna slide out. There's your lock right there. So if you pull on this side, you're going to break this. This will then just dangle out like that. You're screwed. Pull this side, all right? So on here, try to spin it. Microphone, like I said, easy. There's your mic, there it is. On the other side, in case people think, so yeah, there's 2 of them, what the heck? On this side, empty, no mic. So that's the one we wanna go to. So all we're doing, this looks like same thing, just a pull. There's no clips. It's just a wiggle and pull. Pull them right on out. It came with 2 plugs. So what this is in case your car, your BMW, does not have a factory Bluetooth, doesn't have the factory mic at all, I have a plug that we added on here that you can plug in an extra mic. And the cool thing is with our mic is it actually drops in place where the factory mic is. So where this guy is, where he's just sitting here as a blank, we have a mic that drops right in there, locks right in just like this mic, and you can plug it in. Gives you an extra, gives you our mic. But definitely, if you have the Bluetooth mic and it's working, use that mic. It's a much more clear mic. I really like BMW's mics. So we'll go ahead and do the T-harness. Very simple. I'm plugging it in. It can only plug into one. It's not going to plug into this one. It only plugs into this. Same thing on this side. There's only one that's going to work, and it's this guy. So we're going to line him up and snap him in. So there you go. That's all that is. Now, this is the last part I'll show you with this, and then we'll move on. Just to get you started, because I always, when I had the microphone starting, I'm already starting over there. Come through here. Just pull through here and just fish your plug. And you should at one point be able to slide him out. And all I'm doing is pushing him. I'm literally just pushing him through, and you're probably somewhere in here seeing him. And that's it. So that's all I did, was I pushed him through. Nothing's messed up. Now you see the wire. And then follow our other video for how to get it down. Like I said, you don't take it behind the radio on this one. You just need to take it to the dash, because that's all we're going to. So follow that, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, so I have this ran. Like I said, I ran the mic. Just follow that video. You're cool. On our harness, you'll see one labeled microphone. Plug it in. Now, you have a couple other plugs here. Leave it the way it's set up. We set this up on purpose. If we plugged it into a different way, then plug it in that, leave it. Just don't unplug stuff you don't need to. So this is really for us to set up properly per car, and we would, if we were selling it to you, we would get your year, make, model, figure everything out, try to get the kit 100% set for you. Same thing with like dip switches and stuff too. So let's go ahead and get this figured out. So you've got the LSVD out. Literally, it's labeled LSVD out. Plugging it in. Just snaps in nice and tight. You've got the LVDS in. Plugging her in nice and tight. You have the main power connector. We'll go ahead and plug him in. Cool, he's seated nicely. At that point, that's all the plugs, except for what you want to do for your USB. So there's a couple different versions. There is a plug that we give you with the kit that comes in that you can then use it as the plug-in. That's really if you're going to do like Android Auto. If you want to do Apple, the way we set it up and the way we're going to do it on this one is we actually give you an antenna, Wi-Fi antenna. Don't mount this on metal. Don't mount this on metal. Mount this on a piece of plastic. It's double-sided tape. Just tape it anywhere under the dash. It's fine. It puts out a Wi-Fi signal so you can do wireless CarPlay. And that guy plugs into the only blue plug here. But like I said, there is a plug here. It comes in the box. You plug it in. It has a couple RCA's outs, like for a backup camera. If you want to do a backup camera, front camera, it's got those options definitely in it. Our manual will have them as well, telling you how to use it. And then it also gives you a female USB. You'll have to get an extension. You'll want to extend it, but that will give you the USB that you need for an Android Auto, or if you want to wire the CarPlay. I like wireless. So everything's plugged in. Give me a couple minutes and we will do a video of testing it before we put it back together, because I suggest you always test it before you put it back together. That is simply why I'm plugging it in now. I'll most likely have to unplug it, mount it, plug it back in, make it all nice and clean. But this is where we're going for right now. Awesome.
So earlier we showed you the entire install of how to take apart the panels, take apart the dash, install the Apple CarPlay. The only thing is we forgot to actually display it, to show how the CarPlay worked and its features. So that car went back to the customers. We don't have that car anymore, but this is the exact same kit. It's just a different screen. So it has the screen up top instead of in the dash, but it's the exact same kit, installed the same way, controlled the same way, works the same exact way. So to control it, you have your iDrive here. You're going to press and hold the menu button for 2 seconds, and that pops up your CarPlay, switches the signal. You have Apple CarPlay, you have Android CarPlay, you have screen mirroring, you can go through USB, or Apple CarPlay is also wireless. You have a backup camera or front camera, depending on which one you run. That will be displayed there, or you can shift it into reverse and that will also display it. And then you have a ton of these settings. You can really customize your CarPlay how you like it and dial it into exactly what you want. On the iDrive, you just go back and forth, just like your normal BMW settings, and click in to select. That'll bring you up to CarPlay. Then you have all your options, your calendars, settings, music, messages, phone, everything pops up. You go to music. You know, there's a bunch of different options. It's a really cool kit. Works very well. Next, I'm going to show screen mirroring and how that works. Here's the Apple CarPlay screen mirroring feature. As you can see, that's the screen of an iPhone up there displaying Instagram. Here's the phone right here, displayed up there. You can scroll. There's another truck. Really responsive. You can even see different apps. It's very responsive, works very well. And you know, you can play Netflix, YouTube, you can play whatever you want on this thing. No restrictions while driving. It's not going to shut down you driving. It's not going to tell you no or anything like that. So that's really nice that you have the option to do that. Although it's not the safest, it's, you know, you can still do it if you want. It's not going to harm anyone. But that is how you display screen mirroring on Apple CarPlay. Now, be in mind that to screen mirror, you have to disconnect from the CarPlay. So any wireless CarPlay will be disconnected, and screen mirroring needs to be plugged into a USB. Android Auto, that has to be at USB. Apple CarPlay can be wireless or USB, but screen mirroring anytime, whether it's Android or Apple, has to be USB. That is the only thing with these kits. They have not come out with wireless Android Auto yet, but hopefully soon. We are Manleys Mobile Electronics, and that was our install video for Apple CarPlay. It's a pretty nice install. You could follow it and do it yourself. We are a distributor for all the products in our video, or you could call us and get an appointment, and we could do it for you.